What is up, everybody? My name is Kyle Matovcik. I am the host of the In Liberty and Health podcast, where we talk all things liberty, health, and wellness, and beyond. My hope is to encourage and spread the message of liberty and physical and mental well-being. I hope you enjoy all the topics we talk about with our guests. We're on all major streaming platforms, so please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Man, I'm doing as good as anyone can do getting buried by his 13-year-old son on leg day.
I'm not going to apologize for not being on this podcast because I got to go see Metallica. So if that's a problem, kiss my ass. Okay? All right.
Oh man, I'm still so new to this freaking StreamYard stuff, but I got the amazing, powerful Dave Casey with me here today. We met here at the LPPA convention. I'm very excited to finally get a chance to talk to him. How you doing, dude?
Dude, I'm doing great, and it was great to meet you at the convention, man. You had all the energy.
Yeah, that's after a couple shots of whiskey, that normally kind of happens to me. I come alive a little bit more.
That was I think maybe one of the first things you said, dude, great to meet you. Let's get a shot of whiskey. That was like cute. And then you made that happen before I left Williamsport. So yeah,
that's typically how most people remember me. From beyond just podcasting, but also when it comes to the music sphere, the camera angle doesn't quite permit for all the guitars and everything. But typically my thing is when I go to big music festivals is I carry a bottle of Crown with me, and everyone I meet, they get my STDs and they get a shot of Crown.
Yeah, who doesn't want to go hang out with that guy? Who doesn't want to hang with the shot guy?
Yeah, dude, I try to be that
Bring
guy.
the vibes with you. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, man. We're at a libertarian convention. Everyone's beating their head off the fucking wall, and you hate your life, and then It's time to wind down.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Froze up a little bit.
Dude, let's fucking party. We good?
Yep, we're good now.
Oh, I hate my internet. Anyways, we I think all the energy was with us at the LPPA convention. I mean, it was a good freaking time.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Nice precursor to Reno. I think I hope that's the trend. Overwhelming force. Just yeah, it was great, and the vibe was good too. Like with the people, obviously we had a good time. It was great to meet everybody, but the job got done in PA, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and it seemed like some people walked out, but I don't think it was anybody that's really going to be sorely missed.
Nah, definitely not. Will McVeigh, he walked right out. I should have got that on tape. I can't believe I blew it. He was like 8 rows ahead of me. I should have been there the whole time.
Yeah, well, you know what? Someone said he was here or there, and I'd never seen him before. And they said, "Oh, well, he looks like some dude that's on drugs." And when I finally recognized him, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess they're right."
Guy does look like a fucking transient on drugs. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I just smoked some drugs, by the way. I'm not shitting on anybody who does drugs.
Oh, dude, I drink caffeine every morning, and I pour shots down people's throats. Other than that, I guess I'm kind of lame in that regard. Some people might accuse me of doing performance enhancing drugs, but I've declined every single time I've been offered.
Yeah, take some of those for a test drive, bro. See what it's like. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
McGuire style.
Yeah. Well, you know what they said about Barry Bonds? His head blew up, right? It's something like that. Yeah.
We don't need that kind of aggravation.
No. Anyways, dude, what kind of got you involved in the libertarian movement? Because I know you're probably a couple years older than me.
Yes.
I know you carry your age well.
Thanks, man.
I'm not going to carry it as well as you, but yeah, what kind of got you into the libertarian movement, and then I guess kind of tailor that into what got you more involved in the Libertarian Party as well?
Yeah, so I guess you could say I come from the left. That's probably fair to say. Like in my day, The Daily Show was the shit, and George Bush was president, so anything that wasn't that was looking pretty appealing. I voted for Ralph Nader the first time I could vote in 2000, and so yeah, I've been called the spoiler for the better part of 20 years, just spoiling elections. But I voted for Ralph Nader because he struck me as just the guy who was telling the truth. You know what I mean? These other two stuffed suits are not telling the truth. I'm whatever, 18 years old or something. 19 years old, I don't know. But I knew that, and I knew he was talking about the man, just keeping the little guy down. That was kind of the message Like, it's a populist message. Bernie rocked it. Trump rocked it. Ron Paul is a libertarian populist in my view. So I think that's a winning message. If you can tap into like regular people, and he was wrong on some things, obviously economics and stuff. Like that was years and years later before I would even come into contact with that kind of stuff. But the idea that like you're under the boot of the system or the man or Goliath or whatever it is, that was like instilled in me early on, and being anti-war was like I don't know what the thing was, but just like it just struck me as like, oh yeah, you can't murder people. Like you can, obviously young kid, people would just say that's naive or whatever, but like, I don't know. That should be everyone's number one thing. It's weird to me at my age that it's not. Like the left isn't even, that's so far in the rear view. So it's weird that they do that through propaganda. It takes, a generation or so of just constant barrage of this shit and, fear of the other and all kinds of things. Highly sophisticated, techniques.
Right.
MK Ultra is real shit. It's everywhere around you. Anyway, but yeah, so I guess, being anti-war was the big thing early on, questioning authority early on. And then, like once you start to ask questions and then you're introduced to Ron Paul and he hips you to things like the Federal Reserve that you'd never heard of in school. You never heard, that was whatever. I can't even remember how I was in my 20s before I ever even heard what that was. Mm-hmm. So, that was cool for me. Like, oh, you can put faces and names and like to the problems that are ailing us. And, so that was big, man. But yeah, Ron Paul, I know that's a similar story for a lot of people. But that was definitely the entryway into libertarianism. The party, different story. But I did vote for Gary Johnson in 2012. Voted for him in 2016. Joe Jorgensen in 2020. But at a certain point, dude, if you want it done right, you got to step the fuck up and you got to participate to get what you want. Because I don't know, anything less than that, just accept, I don't know, waiting for 4 years to get something done by other people is just, it's not acceptable.
Right. Well, it's funny that you brought up the anti-war point first. For me, that was actually one of the last things that I kind of came to, which is kind of weird because I always considered myself a libertarian. And when my brother introduced me to the philosophy of anarcho-capitalism, it was very attractive to me. And I immediately kind of dived down the rabbit hole and learned about the philosophy and considered myself an anarcho-capitalist. But the propaganda, as you mentioned, was beaten so deep into my brain about they hate us for our freedoms, right? And I believed that shit up until about probably 3 years ago, but I considered myself a libertarian for probably like 6-7 years prior. But I thought, okay, well, we just have to do these wars because these people hate us and they're going to take away our freedoms, and it's good to have closed borders and shit like this. And the border debate seems to end up with a lot of people talking past each other because I think everybody agrees it should just be a private property issue. But, that once again, that's kind of neither here nor there. And we're not really down to the point of where we can worry about that necessarily. You kind of catch my drift. Like, we're not talking about private borders anytime within our reality. But this stuff was so ingrained in me. And then I started listening to Dave Smith, actually through Spike Cohen, who I found, because of the Joe Jorgensen campaign. And then, that ultimately led me to Scott Horton. And then I was like, oh, so that's when all the anti-war stuff started to click for me. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized, holy shit, like a lot of this stuff is just blowback from governments. Governments go across the world and they do terrible things. And then terrible people who are inspired by terrible things come back and do terrible things to our country. Well, if we want to live in a prosperous society, we should probably not do those things.
Yeah, sure. So you were like little L libertarian until Joe Jorgensen, and then you found some real shit after that. Is that about accurate?
I did vote for Gary Johnson in 2016 because it was the first election I was able to vote in. I was 18 in 2012, and the election literally took place on my 18th birthday, so I don't think I would have been able to vote that day.
Right.
And back then I probably would have voted Republican anyways, just because I more so consider myself more closer to the right. And still, like, socially, I consider myself more so that way. But
I see you riding the line, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well,
messing with you.
yeah, I know, but
There's a lot of line to ride. I get it. So, a
yeah,
lot of overlap, a lot of cool people over there too.
yeah, yeah. And I've had a lot of people call me a Republican, but if you look at my Twitter
Dude,
feed,
me too. You can't avoid it. That's what I'm saying. I've been called a Republican infiltrator for the past year, of, messing with the local party.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, I've never voted for a Republican president in my life. Supported Ron Paul, but the guy's a rhino, right? I mean, it's a libertarian.
Right. Well, it's hilarious to me because if you literally look at my Twitter, Facebook statuses from the last 2 years, the only thing I've done, probably to a degree that a lot of people would say, like, hey, you should probably lay off, is go after Republicans. And in my mind, this is because you guys are supposed to be good on some stuff. But when you're not good on the stuff that you claim to be good on, like, what the fuck? I'm going to go for your jugular. And the reason is because I think the audience of the right is more accepting of the libertarian message. And especially to Trump's credit, and I knock him all the time, he kind of awakened this anti-war sentiment, through this populist message on the right. So that's why there's so much more, a little bit more ripe for the picking for the libertarian message. So when I go after the right, it's because I'm attacking the right from the right? I want... That's a lot of rights.
That's the Scott Horton way. Yeah, that's what you do.
Exactly. So you want to bring these people in either way, though.
Sure. So this is actually pretty interesting, dude. I think this is one of those times where, the age gap between us might be able to shed some light on some shit. Because I agree with you that right now, it's obviously way easier to find inroads with the right. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the way it was in 2004. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? These were the guys who were spending all the money, leading all the bad wars, all the drug war shit, all this Patriot Act shit. So the idea that it just can, like, dude, this pendulum swings back and forth, and tyranny comes in whatever flavor you want it. So yeah, I don't know. Be on the lookout for that. Like, yeah, right now, dude, there's cool people on the right, and the best people in the Congress, Thomas Massey, and, people give Marjorie Taylor Greene a lot of shit, but so far from what I've seen, that chick's saying it's pretty base shit. Mm-hmm. She goes a little hard on the evangelical stuff for me, but that's a personal opinion. I just, fine. I mean, she can talk about whatever she wants, but I like the stuff she says about, she wants to break up the ATF or, the Department of Education. Mm-hmm.
Pro-secession.
Yeah. Don't sign up for the military, she just said. That's pretty fucking, that's unheard of. 2004 me would be, that's crazy to hear Republican than Ron Paul saying some shit like that.
Right. So what's your kind of thoughts? You mentioned the pendulum swinging back. Come 2024 or 2020, the end of this year, the midterms are going to say a lot about the state of the country, because I guarantee you it's going to be a hard Republican. All levers that are going to be pulled are probably going to be for Republicans. And I'm sure you've seen Reed and I talk about this a lot, but I think people aren't as cautious as they should be about the right, because back to your point, in the early 2000s, what was it about? Video games make you violent. Sure. They hate us for our freedom, pro-police, pro-drug war. And some of them, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, are pro-drug war. Yep. Are you at all cautious about this pendulum swinging back to the right? Because, like I said, me and Reed are calling it out, and some other people are as well. But those, obviously myself and Reed are just kind of the first two to come to mind, because me and him stay in touch.
No, but Reed's been really good on this. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think we should be very, very cautious. And yes, Trump awakened a good part of the right, but I think we're also forgetting that these are the same people who didn't want Ron Paul to be their guy in 2008 and 2012. Yeah. These people are also really hawkish on China based on very, very shaky grounds. And, that's like one of the world's biggest superpowers. Like, they got nukes, and they're all saying, oh, Russia's not a problem. Okay, well, the only difference is, like, we could end up in war with Russia. I'd say Russia's probably a bigger threat right now than China. If this wasn't the situation.
I lost you there. All right, I'm hosting the show.
Then I would say, okay, yeah, China. Let's see. Are we good?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh my God, I don't know what the hell's
I got
going
you
on
up to
with
Russia and China. So no, yo, I got to hear Scott Horton came to the Libertarian Party of Delaware convention a few weeks back, and we got the lowdown on Ukraine and all that stuff. Dude, the Republicans are the hawks, man. So yeah, if they do anything, you'd think that they would be doing that. They'd be the anti-war party right now, based on the stuff. Yeah, Trump's been okay, and yeah, that's kind of like what the temperament of the conservative voter wants. But dude, there's way more Mitch McConnells than Thomas Massey's. Way more. They run shit. Neocons, they're still Lockheed Martin. They that's like a revolving door. Like they can't wait. So instead of being like trying to pull back from what Biden is doing, they're not like just there's the same move. Like, oh, he's being weak on Russia. Yeah. Like that's their stance. So yeah, and you're right. They are hawkish on China and stuff and all this. They're always trying to escalate, man. That's the trend of the state, is to escalate.
Right. And like I said, it's concerning hearing all this hawkishness about China. And they always leave out the fact that we largely benefit from this whole deal, because all we have to do is print money, right? And then we get stuff. Their standard of living goes down while ours goes up. And all we have to do is just run the printing press. Well, they leave that part out. And I kind of say this a lot, but I think the China issue and the border issue are kind of like the fear-mongering for the right, and then racism and the billionaires are the kind of fear-mongering for the left. Where the thing is that there's truth to all of those, right? But the severity of how true the threats are completely different and oftentimes overblown to mobilize people to vote for them and support them.
No doubt. I think, if we learn the lessons of history, that Cold Wars can be used by the state, both states, right, to clamp down on their own people, or to drum up support for wars and, get spending for war machinery and all this bullshit and all this, escalation and, build up the machine. So yeah, dude, that has been, talk about a long-term trend, the whole progressive era, right? World War I, that kicked it off. But yeah, I absolutely think that's a thing.
Yeah, dude, I got you. So your state, Delaware, you guys had a little bit of issues with your state party, didn't you?
Yeah, we had all the issues.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to talk to you specifically about this because I knew what happened in New Hampshire, and obviously that kind of made its ripples in the waves. It seems like all that shit's kind of smoothed out now. What was the lowdown with Delaware, and what the hell kind of happened?
So I think that this is like a microcosm of what has been happening across a lot of states, but our situation, I think, it might have been the worst one. As far as like the guys who did ours, they were not, I think that lady and Joe Bishop Henchman who tried to fuck shit up for New Hampshire, they were kind of sloppy and it didn't work. And there was good people around and they got caught really quick and he resigned in shame. But Will McVeigh is a smart guy and he's been here a long time. And instead of being cool, he's had the keys, let's say, for a long time. And his mother, who's the treasurer here, has the only keys he didn't have, which was to the bank, right? Mm-hmm. So technically he's got really all the keys. Social media, all the IT stuff, all the properties. The blue check he still has that on the social media stuff because Facebook and Twitter are just awful to deal with, but we're working that out. But anyway, he had been here for, I guess, 10 years or so, and he did not like the change that was coming in. Mm-hmm. And he resisted it and was just awful in so many ways, dude. Threw out all the names that you hear, racist, white supremacist, all
Republican.
Oh, man, yeah, that was his favorite. Yeah, for sure. For sure that. Because he's not going to get kicked off Facebook for calling us that. Yeah. But again, like I told you, like I've never voted for a Republican. And that's the thing. Like I think he knows, like we're not, like these are good people, but he doesn't care because that's how shitty he is. He'll say things he knows not true. So yeah, dude, it was a fucking nightmare. I mean, it took months and months and months, but he just went through his bylaws and he thought that he could maybe execute this coup in the time of 4 minutes on a Discord chat with a couple people that were willing to go along with it, and just thought, we'll see if this sticks. And man, yeah, it took months. We had to go through the judicial committee. First, it was like 2 hearings with the LNC, and those people are, not all of them, but more than half of them are just pieces of shit, and we just didn't get much from them, and not even much from them. Like no respect, dude. Some of these people, just fucking scum. That's why, again, I can't wait till Reno. I don't mean to hash out old shit too much, but the time has come.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really cool, dude. But yeah, we got our bank account back. We got I guess if you want to call it the acknowledgement from the national committee that we are the Libertarian Party of Delaware. But he's still messing with like local Department of Elections shit here, and he's like a troll, real life. He's got that vermin supreme energy that he just is like, fuck everybody, burn it down if I can't have it. Like, I don't know. It could have been cool, man. All you have to do is be cool to people,
Yeah.
And the Mises Caucus is not any of those things that he says, obviously, you know that. And yeah, he just chose to go that route, and then he ended up getting, we just had our convention, he got banned for life from this party. Wow. So did his mother, and the 3 other people got banned for a couple years. And then they can come back later, but yeah, man, don't fucking, what are the rules, right? Don't hurt people, don't take their stuff. You took our fucking Facebook page. You took our money. You took, you tried to take the party. He did the whole thing. He wanted to make it like a membership thing. Like you had to come to him and request to be a member. And, they wanted to see if you were in a caucus. Like that was one of their questions, like before you could enter the party. So Delaware's not big, man. There's only, 2,000 plus people here that were registered libertarians. But he was like, no, fuck them too. Like they have to all come back. Come to me. Pretty tyrannical behavior for a 10-year Libertarian Party member. Yeah, dude, it was bad, but it's all good, man. We're like I said, we got the funds back, so we're helping candidates. We got a guy running for school board. We got a dude running for House seat. So yeah, that's what we're getting into. We're trying to get on the fundraising game again and do it up.
Yeah. Wow. Holy crap. Yeah. I've heard bad things about Will, but I never knew that it was to that point. And this has kind of been my question with the Libertarian Party Defense Fund and the Cathedral Caucus. If you guys are so hell-bent on defending the party, what are you defending, right? Because the Libertarian Party really hasn't done a lot over the last 50 years. What do you have to show for it? And why are you so willing to die on this hill?
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Is your life really that kind of pathetic that a third, the third biggest political party in the country, like by a very, 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 very distant margin, is worth ruining your life over? What the hell?
I'm pretty sure Kevin Gauguin, or however you say his last name.
Yeah.
Out of PA. I'm pretty sure he got banned for life from the PA party too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff do you know how fucking shitty of a libertarian you have to be to get banned by libertarians?
Yeah.
Dude. You know what I mean? It's you got to be really, really shitty. And yeah, this stuff is really funny. And it's the true mark of a loser brigader, dude. If you're that shitty, or look, once they start losing, instead of being yo, we'll get you next time in 2024, they're like, we're going to start our own political party. Yeah. And Will's done that here. He started 3 stupid political parties that actually show up. Delaware, again, it's so small and the laws are so dumb here.
Yeah.
He set up the Mandalorian Party. That's his thing. So you can be a Mandalorian. It's at the DMV. You can sign up for this party because, again, he did this while he was a libertarian, dude, working actively against the Libertarian Party. The Bacon Party. I think he set up the Bacon Party here a couple years ago. He's just a manipulator in this system. He just likes to play in bureaucracy and manipulate it. It's just weird, dude. I don't know. He gives off real awful vibes. And I'm glad he's gone, to be perfectly honest with you. Just now, we can have fertile ground for a healthy environment here.
Yeah, dude, that
You know what
seems
I
to
mean?
be a consistent pattern all across the country. And obviously, you saw that here in Pennsylvania. You've seen it in Delaware and New Hampshire. It's a very, very small amount of just assholes, right? Just
Yeah.
fucking awful people that have to try and ruin it for everybody. And then you have people who are on the fence, right? I'm sure you know a lot of the people who I'm talking about who are saying, oh, I don't want to join the Libertarian Party because of the drama. It's like, the drama is such a small amount of people, but they
Yeah.
make a lot of noise. And this is kind of a consistent theme. And even in a good way, you have people who make a lot of noise in a good way, right? There's only one Dave Smith, but he generates a lot of hype.
Hmm.
Well, unfortunately, you have Will McVeigh, you have Kevin Goffin, you have
Right.
all of these guys at the Cathedral Caucus that just make a lot of noise, but they don't really do anything, and
No.
nobody cares about them. The Keystone Party here that they're forming, like 8 people like their Facebook page, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But it'll probably be on the ballot because that's where these guys thrive in
mhm,
bureaucracy. So then instead of that's how much they care about the Libertarian Party, dude.
yeah,
They're like, oh, it's so beyond reproach now that we'll totally subvert it moving forward instead of just trying to work within it. The Mises Caucus dude failed in 2018. It failed in 2020. It's probably going to have a big win like in 2022. But that's what you do. You keep doing it. So yeah, they're pathetic. It's awful.
yeah, and it kind of goes to a larger life lesson, at least for me, is that yeah, you're definitely not going to win them all because throughout my life, just get my ass kicked one after another.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I kept coming back, right? And this is kind of what's happened with the Libertarian Party as well, or at least the Libertarian Party Mises Caucus, is that everyone continued to come back, everyone continued to show up, and now the people who had control of the party, why don't if this party means so much to you, why don't you guys say, hey, I don't agree with this leadership, I don't like this leadership, but let's see where it goes. Let's work with these people, and if we really don't like it, then why don't we beat them at their own game? That's
Yeah.
my suggestion.
It's because, and this is, Mike Heiss said this months and months ago, and he's talked about it a bunch. These are this small group is a group of people with bad character. Like they're not. It's not about, different ideas. That's not what it is. Maybe at the surface, but like they're willing to, stoop to subterfuge to like get what they want. And I think I can speak for the Mises Caucus when I say that at least we declare openly what we want to do. You know what I mean? And anybody who goes, oh, it's a hostile takeover. It's like, you dumbass, stop it. It's like a slogan for like a campaign. The takeover. It's not, you're being an asshole. Again, it's like they know what it is, but they're happy to like twist that for like new people or people that don't know any better, because yeah, they're dickheads.
Yeah, and it just serves to weaponize, sometimes good and well-intentioned people against other good and well-intentioned people, but they don't realize that they just, hey, the people who are doing the weaponizing, essentially, they do know what they're doing, but the people who are coming into the party and don't really know about the factions, they don't understand that they're, once again, bad apples near the tree that want to, spoil it for everybody else.
Yeah. I think that's one of the techniques that they, use actually is like getting there quick. Like during the Joe Jorgensen campaign, that happened quite a bit. Like people that would obviously be jazzed up about it. It's campaign season, so you're just going to get an influx of people, and they'll come in and they'll go, "How can I help?" And then the shitty guys will go, "Oh yeah, come here," and they'll get promoted to some position really quick so that they can take them in and kind of mold them in their way and go, "Watch out for those racists over there." Kind of a technique.
Yeah, and I definitely saw a lot of that personally, and it was kind of funny because there are certain people in my county who you probably know that had nice things to say about me, and I was always kind and cordial with them, and never did anything wrong to them. And just because I like this specific group of the Libertarian Party, I, I'm a terrible person. I'm a racist. I'm an asshole. I'm a Republican infiltrator.
Are you getting some of that where you're at, dude? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Microcosm. It's happening everywhere. It's just like varying degrees of how shitty and what people are willing to do about it. That's why when this happened in Delaware, I was like, Mike, they could do this all the way up to Reno. I was talking to Mike Heislin's phone. He's like, no, man. He's like, there's not too many people that are as shitty as Will in positions of power. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. So it's like a numbers game. It's not like, and he made a good point, and that's not going to happen. There's not that many Will McVeys, luckily.
Yeah, so I guess to kind of pop the question then, what do you think is going to happen in Reno? Because I'm optimistic for the direction of the party, but I do feel like that there's going to be a little bit more fight than people are anticipating. But, after that, it's kind of you cut off the head of the serpent, so to speak, and now it's smooth sailing from here, at least what I can make of it.
Yeah. That's what I anticipate, and I don't want to go in, like just too confident, I guess. But no, that's what I anticipate. Pennsylvania, but bigger, because I think that's how much the energy is, and I think that's, if you look at a graph of the growth from 2017, I think it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to get everything we want.
Yeah, well, I've had Angela on twice now, and the last episode I did with her was a critique with her and Pat McFarland of the GOP paleo route, and a lot of people seem to really like that. And the one I did previous was the paleo and post-libertarian critique of the Libertarian Party, and I think there were some good criticisms there to be listened to, and I don't always agree with those guys, but of course, I don't agree with anybody 100% of the time anyways. Obviously everyone has different ideas than me, but yeah, I'm definitely excited for Reno. I wish I could go. If I wasn't getting married this year, I would be there, but it's just logistically there's no freaking way.
Nope. I get it.
Yeah, dude.
Congratulations, by the way. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, in November we'll be down in Florida, celebrating with lots of margaritas and probably lots of steaks. That's the idea.
Oh man, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. So kind of tailing on there, you started Dave vs. Goliath. What was kind of the genesis for starting a podcast and talking about some of the things you talk about?
Yeah, man. So that was definitely stepping out of my comfort zone, and it was, I guess, brought on by the COVID lockdown stuff. Mm-hmm. I used to play in bands, and I would consider myself an artist. I like making memes. I like expressing myself. I like talking a lot, with my friends and just hashing out ideas and hashing out philosophy or whatever. But like starting a YouTube channel was never like I don't know. I just was like, I don't know. I see all these other people doing it. I'll watch. I felt like a participant more than or like a viewer more than a participant. But the COVID thing, man, really brought something out of me that was just like, all right, I felt like shit was just breaking down like and it was, and it has, like regular societal norms that I wasn't ready to let go of. Like I'm right on the line of Delaware and Pennsylvania here, and I got lots of friends in PA, and for a couple of weeks it was like, oh yeah, you can't there's nobody going over state lines, or they're checking cars at state lines and stuff. Like, what the fuck is this? So that's when I called Dan, my good friend, who I've known for 30 plus years. His kids are my god kids, and he lives in PA. And I was like, dude, I feel like I just need to discuss what's going on, or would you? And I need a creative outlet, and you can't fucking leave the house and all this bullshit. And he was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So I didn't know shit. Again, we're talking about StreamYard. Like, I didn't even know anything about that or going live and stuff. I'd never even had a Twitter page. It was just, social media for me was like Facebook, which was mainly me like yelling into the void, about like whatever 9/11 truth for years, while other people are sharing pictures of their dogs and their lunch. But Twitter really changed the game for me. Liberty Twitter is fucking awesome, and Twitter itself is the Thunderdome. Mm-hmm. Hashtag Elon Musk. I hope he can make this shit fucking even better, because I got to Twitter after Trump was already gone. So I'm sure it's better, has been even better than it is. But yeah, that's where you can get a hold of like people who are like shaping the earth on Twitter. Facebook is not that. I should have been here years ago. But yeah, the podcast, dude, I felt like it was the time. I was ready to start chilling, I had just turned 40, I think, in lockdown. And I was just like, whatever. It didn't seem like the New World Order was coming to fruition. Then it's like, boom. Oh, wait a second. It is. And this is just like phase one. We're just like, holy shit, this is the rest of my life. I figured 9/11 was going to be the great fucking, the moment. But this is equivalent or more, depending on how you look at it. They're both just devastating. Devastating. Economically, fucking socially, spiritually, they're just awful. So yeah, that got me off my ass and made me get, just hook my iPhone up. What do I got? Zoom. All right, that's free. Cool. Let me try this. And yeah, we've been experimenting, kind of trying to new formats and things over the past year. But yeah, man, it's been really cool. Like, lots of cool stuff happens when you take human action. When you stop being a viewer and you start becoming a participant, right? Like, from day one, it was just like, in fact, I just had Dan Smontz on my show the other day. Like, all I had was a promo for my show that I was going to start, and he had just gotten kicked off Facebook. So he sent me a message like, hey, could I get on your show? And, we could talk about this, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to get this message out. And I remember telling my co-host Dan, I'm like, yo, this guy thinks we have a real podcast. Like, this is great. We must be doing something right. But yeah, but that's how it happens, man. Like, now Dan and I are like friends. He has me on all the time, co-hosting his show. I had Spike Cohen on. I got to talk to him, and yeah, it's awesome. It's helped out, I think, maybe get some of the word out with Delaware doing that stuff. Mike Heiss, dude, yeah, it's just like, I like talking to people, and I like talking about, I guess, I don't know, I was going to say like libertarian stuff, but that's not even it. It's just like, what's affecting us right now? What can we do right now? And I feel like just becoming a small node, a connecting node in this thing is pretty cool. I was saying to dudes yesterday, I'm like, yo, do you know if you know Mike Heiss, there's only 4 degrees of separation between you and Elon Musk. You, Mike Heiss, Dave Smith, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. Yo, the world's getting fucking smaller, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In a weird way. And it's just cool to, like, again, man, I got like a couple hundred likes on my YouTube channel. It's nothing. Dude, it's a libertarian podcast, right? You're already capping yourself at the knees. Yeah. Nobody's doing this like for, I don't know. It's cool to make money, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to make money, there's other ways to do it than that. But it feels good. Mm-hmm. There's a reason people pay hundreds of dollars an hour for therapy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would say start a podcast. Talk to cooler people than whatever, and do it for free. But yeah, it's important, man, when they're trying to shut you up, to talk. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's cool. I love it. I love having the show. I'm trying really hard to do it once a week and be a regular thing. I was a little bit casual in the beginning. I'm trying real hard to, step up the content and do it regularly. I think that's my next thing.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's kind of seems to be the key. For me, I'm blown away with some of the people I've been able to have on. I started back in October, so just over 6 months now. I already have almost 10,000 views, and I've had people on. I have Rob Wolf on. I tell people this all the time because this is just like such a mind fuck to me. The second time I had him on, he literally says, "Hey, I'm going to be going on Joe Rogan next week." Just
wait, who did you have on? I missed it. His
name was Rob Wolf. He's a health and fitness guy. He wrote the Paleo Diet book.
Oh, nice.
And, he started off like he's real big in CrossFit back in the day. But yeah, literally just casually, I'm going to be going on Joe Rogan. It's no big deal. He's been on there like 3 times. It's just such a mind fuck. But yeah, you get to connect with cool people like that. And then the other cool thing is that, sometimes you can step out of your realm and you can hear people share ideas that you didn't necessarily know that you had in common with some of these people, like Rob Wolf, for example, or even I had Mike Israetel on, who runs Renaissance Periodization. And a lot of these guys in like the health and fitness world, they're very libertarian leaning, and they can't wait to talk about this kind of stuff just because there's no platform for them to do it in the fitness world. So that was kind of the goal with my podcast, is just kind of give people a different outlet to speak about topics that they don't normally get to talk about. And obviously just do shit like this, or I get to shoot the shit with good people and talk about, like you said, things that are
lost you again. Cow. Damn it, cow.
affecting us right now.
Gotcha.
We're good. Oh
Yeah,
my
you're
God, I
right.
hate my internet.
That's all good, buddy.
Yeah, it's awful. But yeah, it's just cool to get to talk to people from all over the world. I mean, I literally talked to somebody from Australia on Tuesday. So it's like, we have the greatest technology in the world at our fingertips. And oftentimes we just get the, swearing matches on Twitter, but we can also do stuff like this.
Dude, I know. And listen, again, as the resident old guy here tonight, that is something, if I could go back and tell my 16-year-old self who was like, trying to record, your band with your buddy playing drums, guitar, and bass. You got a 4-track recorder that fucking cranks out a tape. You probably spent hundreds of dollars on that thing. Like, you can record a symphony on your iPhone. You know what I mean? Yeah. You record a full-on music video with your iPhone. Mm-hmm. And you're right. We waste time with the bullshit. But no, that's not lost on me now. Like, I utilize all that shit. GarageBand's fucking beautiful, dude. Yeah. If you got GarageBand on your phone and you got all those guitars, get an iRig. Get in there and it's just fun. Jam out in your living room.
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to set up kind of like a little bit more of a recording studio here in my room, so that way I kind of jot down all the ideas I have. And I'm very blessed to play with the musicians I get to play with now. And it's just cool to be able to put out music, and then obviously put out podcasts with great people like yourself, and spread the message and talk about the things that I want to hear out there in the ether right now. Dude, I know you're a little bit tight on time, so I got like 2 or 3 questions I ask every single guest before we get out of here. The first one, what does liberty look like to you?
Oh man, and then Capistan in my head, or like what's the mission? Like what do we?
Just whatever liberty looks like to you, man. Whatever answer you think is appropriate.
Oh man, liberty is just the freedom to do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. Mm-hmm. That's about as simple as it gets, right? I want every interaction on Earth to be voluntary, and I know that it is the destiny of humanity to live free. And even if we don't get to see that in our lifetime, it's worth pursuing that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I 100% agree. What does health look like to you?
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't done a sit-up since fucking Obama was president. I probably Health is buying the organic section and smoking that good. Health is, dude, listen, stay hydrated and drink good water, because most of the water in this country is shit. Stay on the perimeter at the grocery store. Don't go in the center aisles with all the stuff with the smiley faces on the boxes. Stick on the perimeter. Meats, cheeses, vegetables, fruits. And get outside and be active. But I'm not it'd be more. I got buddies, Stan, my co-host. He's every morning up like you, probably crushing it for an hour or two before work. I went and hung out with him in DC. He ran like 10 miles before I got out of bed. So, yeah, that's what health looks like to me, dude. Oh, stretching it around 10 o'clock.
Yeah, no, dude, your co-host is a stud. I know. I was super chatting you guys when you had Shane on, and yeah, he definitely looks like a stud. I could tell.
Dude, he's always he's crushing it.
Nice, dude. Where can everybody find you and check out what you're doing?
Yeah, you can find me at Dave for Delaware on Twitter, because we're rocking number 4 account right now. I'm hoping that Elon's going to give me that first one back so I can get all those followers back. They're tough to come back, dude. Every time it gets rougher. Mm-hmm. But you can find Dave versus Goliath on YouTube. That would be the best. Odyssey, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Nice, man. Well, any closing thoughts? Are you good to go, man?
Dude, it's good talking with you, man. And it was really great to meet you. I appreciate the positive vibe. Because, again, I just think we need more of that. And, just like Just everybody should be that way. You know what I mean? Hit people up, tell them whatever. Yo, man, what's up? I like your show. I'm gonna buy you a shot. Be that guy. That's what everybody should be on.
Well, I was on a podcast recently, and one of the points I hopefully drove home well enough was that the movement needs more happy warriors. So I hope that I can kind of embody the behaviors I want to see in the movement, because, what the hell is a fight for liberty if we're not happy and enjoying it? What are we offering people? We have to offer people, the pursuit of happiness is the person who Shaw was on was kind of saying it's the pursuit of happiness. We have to offer people that. This is happiness, and that's what Larry Sharpe always tells people. And he's, if not the best, one of the best libertarians out there right now. I cannot say enough good things about Larry Sharpe. But when he says that he's selling happiness, spot on. And that's what we need to do for more people.
Dude, absolutely. If they take away our ability to laugh and have fun, they won.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
We need to keep that for sure.
For sure, dude. All right, dude, this was an awesome show. And, once again, everybody can find you at Dave for Delaware. I know you get nuked on Twitter about every other week. So.
Yeah.
Pray
for me. I want that original one back. Say a little prayer for me. Elon.
Yeah. We're going to all have to hashtag Elon and tell him, pray for Dave for Delaware.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Have a good one, Kyle.